Here's Brody Brazil.
Most of you who watch my channel on a regular basis know the things I'm pretty normal at talking about. You also understand that something like this is not usually in the conversation, but I saw that article, I got a kick out of it, I had to read it, and I felt it was so interesting that I had to share it. Literally and figuratively, there is so much to unpack here, where the headline is in the New York Post, athletes to sleep on anti-sex cardboard beds at Olympic Games amid COVID. So here we go. Let's begin with the embedded video. This kind of gives you all the visuals you need to go along with the headline. Yeah, the beds look normal, I guess. Maybe a little bit thin on the mattress, but the pillow, a duvet to go along with it, sheets. Oh yeah, please do not disturb. Obviously, multiple beds per room. I don't know how stable that is. I mean, I know it's designed for the body weight of one person, but definitely not two or more people. I appreciate the effort. They're going for sustainability, portability, simplicity, and we'll dive into more on that in just a little bit. But let's get into the article here where it says, lustful Olympic athletes should think twice before making the bedrock in Tokyo. Who writes this stuff? Oh yeah, the New York Post does. The world's best sports competitors are set to spend their nights on cardboard beds, allegedly designed to collapse under the weight of fornicators to discourage sex amid COVID-19. This is a great selection of words here, by the way. Olympic officials who already warned 2021 Games participants to avoid two-person push-ups because of coronavirus have set up 18,000 of the cardboard beds in the notoriously sex-crazed athletes' village, according to Dezeen magazine. Now, in all fairness, the only thing this Dezeen magazine points out, in addition to some even better pictures of the beds and the frame here, is that these modular beds and mattresses have been made to be used for the Olympic Games and then the Paralympic Games, and then they're made from recycled cardboard and they're going to be recycled after this. So it only gives you technical information here, and it only sees one side of it, sustainability. It doesn't necessarily say in this article at all that these beds are made to avoid encounters, let's say. All right, back to the article. Beds to be installed in Tokyo Olympic Village will be made of cardboard. This is aimed at avoiding intimacy among athletes. Now, this is from American distance runner Paul Chalimo. He tweeted this, and he goes on to say, beds will be able to withstand the weight of a single person to avoid situations beyond sports. That's also a very creative way to put it, Paul. I appreciate that. I see no problem for distance runners, even four of us can do. Now, clearly he's talking about the size and stature of different types of athletes, and that kind of also gets me thinking here, how could you manufacture a bed out of cardboard that was specific to collapse under a certain weight? And let's be honest, do you want beds collapsing on people if they were heavier or if they did try to do something? Probably not a good look, Tokyo. And again, that's why I think all of this just happens to be coincidence. Do you really think they made the beds like this for that particular reason? But you can see here in photos, these are two journalists checking out the bed. This is going to be the talk of the Olympics in the next couple days, now that everybody's arriving and they're seeing the sleeping quarters and what the beds are set up like. Obviously, it's a catchy story. I'm talking about it. You're listening to it. So, it's going to hit. Another Olympian, Irish gymnast Rhys McClenahan, I hope I'm saying that right, Rhys, said in a video posted to his Twitter account that although the beds are made out of cardboard, they're perfectly sturdy. That's good to know. In the video, McClenahan jumps up and down on his bed to illustrate how the furniture does not crumble under his weight. Now, he's a gymnast. I don't know the size. I don't know what weight he's carrying or what he's putting on the bed, but clearly, jumping up and down would definitely indicate that it's built pretty well. Oh, these ads are killing me. Olympic athletes have never shied away from hanky-panky. Nice. But officials have warned it could spell particular trouble this year amid the pandemic. The 100% recyclable cardboard beds were designed by the Japanese company Airweave, But officials are apparently aware it's going to take a lot more than makeshift berths to keep players out of the pole position. Come on. Clean it up. They are distributing a cache of condoms to the athletes, as they have at every Olympic Games since 1988. This year, the condom tally, and it's also amazing that they know this in advance, like they've been planning specifically for this, is 160,000. Wait, how many athletes are here at these games? Did we just say there was only 18 beds? Still, that's a far cry from the 450,000 doled out for the last Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, back in 2016. This year, Olympic officials insist the rubber is for athletes to bring home to spread the message of safe sex. Look, I get it. I know what's been going on here for years. You've got young people meeting each other for the first time, alone, highly charged up, a bit nervous, a lot going on. I see how this all happens, and I appreciate the efforts to keep it safe. But going back to the bed thing here, the collapsible bed thing, our intent and goal is not for athletes to use the condoms at the Olympic Village, but to help with awareness by taking them back to their own countries, the Tokyo Olympics organizing committee said in a statement to Japan today. Again, a couple more pictures. It's just, that's bizarre looking. And I guess you can't really see it once the duvet is covering it, but you know it's cardboard under there. I don't sleep on cardboard. You probably don't either. At least 2 athletes have already tested positive for the coronavirus at the Tokyo Olympic Village, officials said Sunday. Another resident of the village, a visitor from abroad involved in the game's planning, was reported as having tested positive a day earlier. So that brings me back to the actual important part of this, distance, separation, people coming from all around the world's different health statuses, different exposure levels. I know we're joking around about the sexual side of this, but clearly there's a more important part, and that's keeping these athletes healthy for the reasons of, number one, their physical well-being, but also they've trained so hard. They've already had these games pushed back. The last thing they need to do is be disqualified for their event because of a positive test, which I know, testing is happening daily. So I don't mean to end this fun video on such a serious note, but these beds are kind of a bigger sign to athletes to make sure that they take care of their Olympic performance before anything else. And before I get in trouble for going too far on this, I think I'll just leave it at that. But I'm pretty sure that a cardboard bed, though, I'll leave it with my final thought. A cardboard bed is not going to stop 2 or more people from doing whatever they want in the rest of that room, if you catch my drift.